The Grey Cup Final, brought to you by National Carbon Company and Northern Electric Company Limited.
North, east, south, west, everywhere you go, Northern Electric is the name to know. From coast to coast in Canada, and he serves you best. Serving home and serving industry, and he stands the test. North, east, south, west, everywhere, Northern Electric serves you best.
Northern Electric now takes you to Varsity Stadium for the 1954 Grey Cup Final between the Edmonton Eskimos and the Montreal Alouettes.
Hello, football fans. This is Dave Price speaking to you from Varsity Stadium in Toronto. Well, this is the big one, the Grey Cup. The finale to a football season started way last August. Edmonton Eskimos and Montreal Alouettes, finalists in the East and West respectively, are going to meet on a surprisingly good gridiron. We'd been led to believe that the field would be a sea of mud, but such is not the case. What looks like water on the field is not water, but peat moss put on after Harry Griffiths, the stadium manager, had spent last night and this morning with big heat lamps out there drying this field out. It's in good shape right now. The Montreal Alouette band are on the field, led by Joey Dribble, their drum majorette. And now your play-by-play commentators, Jack Wells and Steve Douglas, are standing by, ready to give you a rundown of the team lineup. So over to Steve and Jack. Steve?
Thank you very much, Dave. Nice to be on board for the 1954 edition of the Grey Cup between the Edmonton Eskimos and the Montreal Alouettes. And I reckon Mr. Wells from Winnipeg and the West would say about the same, eh, Jack?
Well, you know, it's always a great thrill to be here for any Grey Cup, but I think more so this year for some unknown reason. I'm getting a tremendous kick out of this Alouette band out here, Steve. They're putting on a great show.
Well, they have been a mainstay of the Alouette organization thanks to Lou Heyman and several other members who have worked diligently all season long, and they're coming into focus on our screen on the Varsity Gridiron right at this moment. Jack, as Dave has just said, weather conditions, although a little bit on the nippy side, would be, wouldn't you say, just about ideal. Football fan, football player, everybody concerned, eh?
I think it'll favor the ball players a little. It certainly won't be too hot anyway, Steve, but those fans, well, you know, there are other ways of keeping warm, and I guess they'll enjoy themselves out here this afternoon.
Jack, this would be the 27th time that the West has challenged the East for the Grey Cup since Edmonton, oddly enough, first came East in 1921. As an Easterner, so-called transplanted variety, I don't want to say this in front of you, but it must be factually stated that up to now, in 26 previous challenges, the West has come out on top 4 times. The Bombers 3 and Calgary 1, right?
Well, I think you're giving me the little rub there, Steve, but you're absolutely right. You know, the West has only won it 4 times, as you say, since the inauguration of this great football classic. But I would like to state that I think it was a Western team that made this football classic what it is today. I mean, the color, the glamour, and all the excitement that goes with a Grey Cup classic was caused when the Calgary Stampeders invaded Toronto back in 1948. You may recall, too, that it was in 1948 that the Calgary Stampeders won the Grey Cup. And you may recall, too, Steve, that the Calgary Stampeders were the only club to go undefeated in an entire season of football.
That is correct, Jack. And also, of course, Calgary played against the Montreal Alouettes when the Alouettes last won it in 1949.
That's right.
Jack, how about... Yes, Dave?
And call attention down to the field where the Alouette band and drum majorettes have formed a big replica of the Grey Cup. We can pick that up there down with drum major Alan Anderson way out in front, Alan Thompson, rather, way out front. I guess you fellas better go ahead.
Well, go ahead there, Steve.
Well, Jack, I was going to suggest that in the very immediate future, we're going to let our viewers across Canada see some of the top-notch ball players who will be in action today. There's the picture on the screen now that Dave Price was talking about just a moment. And moving in towards the sidelines and the benches. The replica of the Grey Cup formed by the Montreal Alouettes. Very wonderful musical organization.
Hey, they're a really glamorous outfit, that Alouette band. I'm getting a real thrill out of this one, Steve.
Incidentally, Jack, we must note right now, I think, that this afternoon a change was made insofar as uniforms were concerned. Before the game, up until about noon today, it was believed that the Montreal Alouettes would wear their customary cardinal jerseys with silver gray pants, and Edmonton was scheduled to wear the green jerseys with gold pants. However, a change has been made. Jack, you tell them.
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos will be wearing their road uniforms, so there wouldn't be too much contrast with the Alouettes, who have the red cardinal sweater, and I think our television audience will appreciate this because you'll be seeing the white uniforms. That will be the Edmonton Eskimos, and the dark-colored uniforms on your television screen will be the Montreal Alouettes. And we've seen most of our spotter up here this afternoon, Steve. We've seen the Eskimos in these road uniforms before. They're all spanking clean. I think we won't have any trouble discerning the Eskimos from the Alouettes as far as jerseys are concerned, that's for sure.
Well, that last-minute change, Jack, also is going to enable the television audience, which is a mighty big one today, to see much more plainly exactly which side belongs to which side. Incidentally, for those of you who are following numbers plucked out of various spots around the country, Anderson will wear 63 with a white uniform, and Lindsay will wear 81. Those are the only two changes from the present program.
Steve, I think this is being beamed into Fargo, North Dakota, where a lot of Winnipeg fans have migrated for this cup. Now, here's Bernie Poloni of the Edmonton Eskimos. He formerly played with the Maryland club. First year up here, Steve.
And a great ball player he was, very decidedly, Jack.
That's for sure. I think you saw Bernie play a lot when you were down around Maryland, didn't you?
I did, indeed, and a ball-handling magician, the likes of which you have never seen, right?
I know I've had to call a lot of his plays during the season, and believe me, if he fooled the opposition like he can fool a broadcaster, he's doing a mighty good job because we got trapped 2 or 3 times. Here's Jackie Parker. He formerly played with Mississippi State his first year in Canadian football.
Trouble with picture transmission this morning is a result of network feed. We ask you not to adjust your home receiver. We hope to have the trouble corrected as soon as possible.
He pitched like a skeleton falling out of a tree. I think that holds with Parker, too, perhaps.
Well, Jackie's got his own cheering section here today. His father and brother came all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee for this one, so I guess they win the award for traveling the furthest distance to see the Grey Cup 1954 version. Here's another fine ball player. This is the China Clipper, Normie Kwong, playing with the Edmonton Eskimos. Now, Normie has been a stalwart in that backfield of Western Canadian football for quite some time. He played with the Calgary Stampeders when they won the Grey Cup back in 1948, and he held the ground-gaining record in the Western Conference up until this year. A real good, solid fullback. I think he's the only Chinese boy playing in big-time football at the present time.
That flash look you're having right now is the Montreal Alouettes in front of their bench, but there's a great ball player, Jack.
This is Rollie Miles of the Edmonton Eskimos, Steve, and I don't think Rollie needs any introduction. He has been, pound for pound, one of the greatest ball players Canadian football has ever seen. I expect that Rollie will have himself a pretty good day out here today because he likes this kind of going. Cheer your here's for the Edmonton Eskimos trotting out onto the field, and they move out, and this ball game will be underway in just a few moments. But I understand you have some ball players you'd like to show us too, Steve.
Well, we have a fellow named Sam Etcheverry, just yesterday voted as Canada's top football player of the year. The rifle from Denver University throws that baseball type of forward pass as you were observing in pregame warm-up, Jack. And there is the scoring champion of the Big Four, Alec Webster, who scored 16 touchdowns to equal the Canadian record set 2 years ago by Yulee Curtis. Webster's a hard-running type of back, Jack, explosive very definitely. That's Joey Powell, definitely one of the outstanding Canadian football players, plays flying wing, and you'll see that number 82 of his in plenty of action this afternoon for the Alouettes, that's for sure.
How about Red O'Quinn? Have you got a picture of him we can have a look at?
Well, Red O'Quinn, right now, the curly-headed boy, played at Wake Forest under his present coach, Douglas P. Head Walker. And the bread and butter pass of the Alouettes, Jack, is a button hook type pass thrown by Echeverry, received by O'Quinn, who goes down from his right end position and button hooks back facing the quarterback about, 7, 8, 10 yards down. And he was the second leading pass receiver in the Big Four this past season.
Well, the Alouettes lost a real fine pass catch on this boy Patterson, I understand, too, didn't they, Steve?
Patterson was one of the most amazing first-year men who ever came along, and definitely a sensation until he unfortunately broke his ankle in one of those freak accidents when he and Virgil Wagner came together, colliding in attempting to, and successfully so, knock down a forward pass by a member of the opposing team. It was a real tough break in more ways than one. Incidentally, Jack, the officials, we might note them now for today's game. The referee is Hap Scholdice of Ottawa. There are 3 umpires. They are Cliff Roseborough of Winnipeg, Seymour Wilson of Hamilton, Paul Dojak of Regina. The head linesman is Sammy Richardson of Hamilton. And the field judge is Bill Nairn of Winnipeg. Those are 6 men, and also there will be a timer for the East and the West. And the kickoff for this, the 1954 Grey Cup, will take place in just a moment.
Electric range. Banquet size oven, 21 inches wide, handles a big bird, yet the range is compact, most automatic you've ever seen. Need ice cubes, Jack? You'll get lots from your cold, clear-to-the-floor Leonard Magic Cycle refrigerator with automatic defrosting. Entertainment for the whole family with a big picture, clear picture Sylvania TV with exclusive halo light. That's the idea, Jack. Hear the wonderful Christmas music on the biggest little radio in the world, Northern Electric's Baby Champ. Poor Cinderella. She needed a Superjet 99 vacuum cleaner to clean up easily, quickly, without muss or fuss. Yes, the signs point to a fun-filled Christmas when you find wonderful Northern Electric appliances under the tree. For quality home appliances, large or small, Northern Electric serves you best.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for today's game. The referee, Mr. Hansgrove.
The official kickoff on the field will be taking place in just a moment. And the 1954 Grey Cup game between the Edmonton Eskimos and the Montreal Alouettes, representing the Western Football Union and the Big Four, will take place. Miss Joan Hunter, Miss Argonaut, was crowned last night as Miss Grey Cup of 1954, in case you had not heard this information previously. Miss Joy Dibble, Miss Alouette, was second. The young lady from Edmonton, Miss Inez Levinesk, was third. The kickoff will take place from the south end of the field to our right, which the Montreal Alouettes will defend. They will kick off from their 45-yard line. They will be attired, as you see them on the television screen, in the dark jerseys. It is a cardinal red. To our left, the north end of Varsity Stadium, the Edmonton Eskimos, green and white with gold helmets, will receive, and the ball game will be underway very shortly.
I think that was Mayor Harlock of Edmonton and Mayor Saunders of Toronto also officiating at this kickoff here this afternoon, Steve.
Here is the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen.
have a deluxe automatic range for your cooking pleasures. The Gurney Petite electric range is only 21 inches wide, yet it has all the most wanted features for modern electric cooking. See the Gurney Petite electric range at your Northern Electric dealers. Okay, Steve.
Right, Dave. Ray Poole, number 79, will kick off for the Alouettes as he has done all season. Lipman, Miles, and Parker are the three deep men. You saw them a few moments ago for the Alouettes in approximately the 5-yard line. Here we go. 1954 Grey Cup underway. Miles on the 4-yard line. The 15 upfield to the 25. And he is dragged down to earth on the 33-yard line. Pulled down by Chuck Hunsinger, number 84, Alec Webster, number 86, and Ray Poole, who did the booting, number 79. 64 is Juan Sheridan, standing over the football, number 48 on your screen, Tommy Hugo, the only Hawaiian-born player in Canadian football today, a product of the University of Denver. Alouettes will probably use a 5-4-3 against the Edmonton Eskimos, temporarily at least. The ball is on the 33-yard line. Eskimos into the field, 1st and 10. Bernie Filoni, number 90, is the ball-handling wizard, quarterbacking the Eskimos. Watch him. The quarterback keep play, and Bernie is up across the 35-yard line, runs smack into the arms of Juan Sheridan and Tommy Hugo. They bring him down to earth on the 37. The gain is about 4, 2nd down and 6 to go. Center of the Alouettes forward wall ganged up on Filoni on the quarterback keep play. Eagle Keys is the Eskimo center, number 40. He is completed to Parker. He is knocked down and finally out of bounds by Juan Sheridan for an Eskimo 1st down, almost to midfield. Miles threw it. The play went a pitch out, a short one in the backfield from Filoni to Rollie Miles. He fired down the far sideline to Jackie Parker, and Sheridan and Ellsby combined to knock him out of bounds on the 52-yard line. That is the first down from scrimmage of the afternoon. Eskimos on the move after taking the kickoff. The ball game after 1 minute of play, still scoreless, of course. Normie Kwong is the ball carrier up to the 50-yard line. The Alouettes end of the field. Miller, number 72, principal man on the tackle. The gain is 8 yards in the play. It is 2nd down, about 2 to go. Normie Kwong, once again, his number is 95. You keep an eye on the China Clipper of the Eskimos this afternoon. Virgil Wagner came up to help make the stop. Big Tex Coulter, number 60, is in too, and so is Tommy Hugo, 48. The Alouettes are going to send deep for this punt that they are expecting, with about 2 yards to go, or less than 2 yards, about a yard maybe. So close it is that Hap Scholdice, the referee, is calling for an official measurement. The Alouettes figure, however, that there will be a boot coming up. They have sent back Grigg and Pal as their 2 deep men standing around the 10-yard line. We'll show them to you as soon as this measurement is over. It is short, as you see, by about 1 foot. So this poses a very nice problem for quarterback Filoni so early in the ball game. Ball is on the 48-yard line. Alouette end of the field. Eskimos possession, 3rd down and less than a yard to go. What is the quarterback going to do? No punt formation. The deep men come running up for the Alouettes. Filoni handed off to Rollie Miles, who hit dead into the center of the line and probably made the 1st down, although another measurement could be coming. Miller is in, so is Ellsby on the stop, and Big Tex Coulter, number 60. Another measurement.
Coulter has the field right on the tackle.
Eskimo 1st down. Ball on the Alouettes' 47-yard line. Remember, in measuring, it is the nose of that football that counts. Alouettes get lined up after 2 minutes of play. They kicked off to the Eskimos. The Eskimos have moved down to the Alouette 47. Jackie Parker on a direct handoff hits the left side of his own line. Crosses the 45, is down halfway between the 45 and 40. Juan Sheridan, 64. Ted Ellsby, 68, the principal stoppers on it. They have placed the ball down on the 43-yard line to pick up his 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Eskimos certainly don't waste any time in the huddle. Maloney's still got that football. He's going to throw. Completes to Parker at the 35-yard line. Make it Lindley, not Parker. 81, not 91. Completed to Lindley. Hunsinger coming up from his defensive spot, put the stop on him. Eskimo, first down, the ball just inside the 35-yard line. So the Eskimos continue to be on the move, and what a beautiful piece of fakery Mr. Filoni pulled that time.
I told you about him, Steve.
Oh, you were so right. Miles, the ball carrier. Nice hole opens up. He's almost to the 25-yard line. He is stopped down there by Hunsinger and Bruce Colder, 65, with Jimmy Mitchner, 83, also in. This is very close to another first down. The split T operation of the Edmonton Eskimos is, you've got to say right now, giving the Alouettes a bit of trouble, eh? It is on the 26-yard line, 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Filoni on a quarterback sneak. Maybe he fumbled, but I believe recovered. If so, he's down on the 23-yard line. Juan Sheridan, number 64. First down, Eskimos. They have moved from the 31-yard line on the original kickoff way down now. First down on the 23-yard line. Alouettes end of the field. Back to Rollie Miles. Pitches intended for, completed to Parker. Great catch by Jackie. And down he goes and out of bounds on about the 7-yard line. Man, Parker juggled that one, the same play they executed before so perfectly. And Ted Ellsby, who is playing for the Alouettes in place of Jim Staten, has been in on 90% of the tackles so far. It is first down, goal to go on the 7-yard line. And the Eskimos have moved from about their own 32 all the way down in 4 consecutive first downs. This is Jackie Parker carrying. Fakes to get away from Hugo. Hugo hits him. He's down on the 4-yard line. There's a crowd of about 27,400 roughly in Varsity Stadium, and I'm sure you can tell from the background they're going just a little bit wacky. It is on the 4-yard line. Cecia and Krawick have come in for the Alouettes, as the Alouettes will set up something like an 8-man line on their own 4-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go. Jackie Parker is hit by Ted Ellsby, spins his way for maybe a yard, possibly 2. See where the officials say his forward progress was stopped. This will be then 3rd down coming. Dave Price has just reminded me that the Alouettes' forward wall, when they pack it, stopped Hamilton successfully from about the same spot. It is 3rd down, 3 yards to go for a touchdown. Man, this is great excitement so early. Rollie Miles. He's going to be trapped. He's at his own 15, back to the 20, still running this way now. He throws a forward pass in the end zone, completed to Lindley. Rollie Miles must have run about 100 yards. 5-0 in the Grey Cup so early in the ball game. The clock shows 5 minutes and 10 seconds gone by, and Dean is trying for his 43rd consecutive convert this season. High pass. It's good. Dean incidentally threw what probably was the key block, and it was a bruiser. This is Lindley on your screen right now, the boy who caught that pass thrown by Rollie Miles in the end zone. Jack Wells, I'm a little bit flabbergasted, out of breath, dumbfounded, and a few other things. What are your reactions?
Well, you know, it's pretty hard to get excited over a fellow like Miles because we've seen him do this sort of thing on numerous occasions in that Western Conference. I've never seen him reverse his field so completely, though, as he did on that particular play. And that tag, or rather that block of Bob Dean, I think was the hardest block we've seen in a long, long time. And I think it was the key block. He opened it up for Miles to cut around that right side again. Then throw the pass.
Steve, it was said before this game started that if the Eskimos got the ball and started on the ground, they might go. Well, they were so true. They got it on the
true,
kickoff.
Dave? Dean will kick off for the Eskimos. Here we go in action again. Alec Webster on the 11-yard line. At the 25, look at that boy burst. He is up and down on the 37-yard line. And he is gang tackled there. Lippman is one of the men who hit him, brought him down to earth. And Barry, number 55, also on the stop. Webster from his 11 brought it back to the, well, they called it the 38-yard line. Alouettes 1st and 10. Ted Tully, number 51, is the man you saw calling defensive signals for Edmonton. Esks in front, 6-0. That is Alec Webster, the ball carrier, number 86, with Briggs coming in to make the stop on him. And he stopped him just about maybe half a yard. About a foot, that's about all you can say. So call it 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Alouettes 38-yard line. Webster is a flanker on this side. Powell goes out on the far side. And Etch will throw. He does, complete to O'Quinn. He is down for a 1st down almost at midfield. He's piled up there. Number 87, Bryant, is one boy who got him. Briggs is also on the stop, and Rollie Miles coming up from his defensive spot. Sam Etcheverry's first pass of the afternoon, complete to Red O'Quinn for an Alouette 1st down. Gee, I don't know. With that start, this is going to be a Lulu. To Poole for a gain of almost 6 or 7 yards on the play. Johnny Bright, number 84, defensive back for the Eskimos. And Ted Tully, 51, put the tackle on him. The gain is 7 yards. It is 2nd down and 3. The ball is on the 49-yard line, Eskimos' end of the field. Alouettes possession. We have played 6 minutes of the first quarter. Edmonton 6, Alouettes nothing. Hunsinger's got it. It was deflected. He tries the lateral. It goes out of bounds. Trying to throw to Joey Pell. Apparently the ball was tipped out by the Eskimos. That is the ruling from the field. It goes over to Edmonton on their own 48-yard line. A 10-yard penalty on the play for fumbling into touch, so indicated by referee Hep Scholdice. And an Eskimo 1st down, back on their 38-yard line now.
That was tipped out of bounds, Steve, or into touch, whichever way you want to phrase it, by an Edmonton player on that wobbly lateral.
Hunsinger was trying to toss it to Joey Pell, and an Edmonton arm or hand got in there and tipped it out of bounds. Normie Kwong, the ball carrier, tries the right side of his own line, still going. Hunsinger brings him down to earth on the 48-yard line. So he has picked up almost a 1st down. There could be a measurement, and I believe there will be. 1st down, they say. Eskimos possession, 1st and 10 from their own 48. Well, they took the ball in the opening kickoff and went about 78 yards, that's unofficial, in 6 1st downs for a TD. They have possession again with Rollie Miles. A nice hole opened on the left side of the Eskimos line. Filoni faked beautifully to Kwong going into the center, handed off to Miles then, and he picked up about 8 yards. Hunsinger from his secondary position came up on the stop. The ball is on the 53-yard line, Alouettes end of the field. It is second down and just about 2 yards left to go. Jackie Parker dragged down by Virgil Wagner. First down for the Eskimos at the 43-yard line. Tommy Hugo, 48, last man off the bottom of the pile, but Virg Wagner, number 78, hit him first. Eskimos first and 10, and that ground attack is sure grinding out yardage. Bernie still got that football. Fires downfield, too hot for Lindley to handle. Roared right through his hands. The weather is about 38, 40 degrees, and it's a little nippy on the hands of the football players, especially ends who are trying to receive forward passes. Bernie fired that one like a bullet. See how he bootlegged that ball, eh? Second down and 10 yards to go for the Eskimos. He's still got it, Filoni. Jump pass. Ooh, man, Hunsinger hit Wally Miles just at the moment of the football's impact. Filoni threw. They said that boy couldn't throw very well, but he's thrown a couple of beauties. They just didn't click. The first one went steaming through the hands of Lindley. That last one was defensed beautifully by Hunsinger. So there is the first decided break of the football game. Recovery of a fumble so deep in the opposition territory. Loose ball in the backfield, recovered by the Alouettes. Ted Elsby, 68, makes the recovery. The lateral pass by Bernie Filoni went badly astray. The only man close to it could not fall on the ball, but big Ted Elsby, who has played a whale of a game, did so, and the Alouettes have recovered, and the tide has turned the other way. The lateral was intended for Rollie Miles. Well, how do you like them apples, eh?
That was more like a basketball pass they were trying to throw out there that time, Steve.
This is Virgil Wagner on that pitch out. Loses his footing in the center of the field. Slips down to earth on about the 20-yard line. Picked up maybe 2 yards in the play. Parker and Tully, principally responsible for the stop, along with Johnny Bright. 84 is Bright. 61 there is Bob Dean. Joey Powell is flanked out on the near sidelines for the Alouettes. Second down and 8. Jump pass to O'Quinn. He's got it. He may be away. He's at midfield. He's being chased by 2 Eskimos. He's at the 25-yard line. Changes direction. This will be, I think, a TD. It is. A 90-yard touchdown by the Alouettes, showing you, as we have talked before, their explosive power. The play started at the 20-yard line. Jackie Parker hit O'Quinn as he changed direction on about the 3-yard line, but Red slithered on his knees over the goal line, and it is Edmonton 6, Alouettes 5, with the conversion attempt by Ray Poole coming up. Man. Etcheverry holds on the 12-yard line. The ball game is deadlocked at 6 points apiece.
Steve, I've never seen 2 more spectacular touchdowns in a game as important as this. There's Red O'Quinn on the screen now. The man who just made that long 90-yard run.
O'Quinn, of course, Jack, was the second top pass receiver in the Big Four this past season. Al Pfeiffer of the Toronto Argonauts was the number 1 man, and he only ousted O'Quinn in, I believe, the last week or 2 of the season. But after that gallop on that little tiny button hook job, jumped pass right over the center, what they call the pro pass, he burst into the clear. 3 Eskimos tried to get him, and Parker, well, I thought Parker was going to it about the 10-yard line. O'Quinn changed direction and then hit him on the 2. Intercollegiate game is varsity 3, Western nothing in the first quarter. Ray Poole will kick off. That is Miles underneath the goalpost, and Dave West, number 97, the last man you saw. End over end to West on the 10-yard line. The 20 is hit there and dragged down on the 24. First man to hit him was Bill Bewley, Jacques Villec, 87 on the tackle, and Tommy Moran, number 77. Bewley, Villec, and Moran combined to bring him down on the 24-yard line. Eskimos ball, 1st and 10. That tremendous pass play by Echeverry to O'Quinn certainly changed the complexion of the ball game, because just a moment before, the Eskimos had recovered a fumble, and then Filoni tossed a wild lateral, and the Alouettes recovered. Jackie Parker on the direct handoff from Bernie Filoni hits the center of the line. He is ganged up there. Jimmy Miller is 1 man. There he is, 72. 81 is Johnny Blacher. 60, the big guy, Tex Calder, of course. You can count on him being on the bottom of almost any pile. And the same goes for Hugo and Sheridan, 48 and 64, respectively. Having a good look at them right now. That's Wagner, 78, at the bottom of your screen. Normie Kwong, the handoff from Filoni, hits through the center. Calder got him first. Hunsinger came up, and so did Sheridan. And this is very close to a first down. The gain on the first play, which I neglected to give you, was 4 yards. Now, referee Scholdice says, bring those sticks in and we'll measure. We have approximately 4 minutes left now of the first quarter. Ball game is tied at 6 points apiece. Miles to Lindley for a touchdown for the Eskimos. Right from the kickoff. That is short by, well, Jack, you say about 1.5 inches, eh?
That's just about it. I got the glasses on it, Steve, and it's just that short.
So it is 3rd down coming. Ball is on the 38-yard line. Nobody goes deep for the Alouettes, figuring that the Eskimos will run. Possibly a quarterback sneak by Filoni, or maybe a handoff to Miles or Kwong. Let's see. Filoni on the quarterback sneak is over the 35-yard line, piled up there by the center of the line, led by Sheridan and Calder. And number 68, Ted Ellsby. A roughing penalty has been called against Juan Sheridan. On the pile-up, tackling Filoni on the quarterback keep play. Roughing penalty, signaled. Excessive use of the elbows, says Hap Scholdice, as you saw it, against Juan Sheridan. So the penalty marches the ball up to the 50-yard line. Eskimos possession, their territory, 1st and 10. Normie Kwong. Filoni faked to Miles, but he had given the ball to Kwong. Doug McNichol, from his right end defensive spot, came in, hit him along with John Blacher and Sheridan. Eagle Keys, the Eskimos' very valuable centerman, was injured on the last play. The gain on the play is maybe a yard. It is just about the 51-yard line. Don Barry, number 55, you see him on the right lower corner of your screen now, goes in. He'll replace Keys if he is taken out of the game, and undoubtedly he will be for at least a short period of time. Seems to be his right leg that was injured. He is going to be helped off the field. There are your Eskimos. 66 is Nelson. 81 is Lindley. 61 is Dean. Just to give you a few numbers that are viewable on the screen, 98 just turned around, Rollie Miles.
Steve, if Eagle Keys is hurt badly enough that he'll have to sit out the rest of this game, that will really hamper that Edmonton line considerably, because it's a two-way man. He plays offensive and defensively as well.
Another oddity about Mr. Keys is that he played for the 1949 Alouettes the last time they won the Grey Cup, and here he is today opposing them. It is 2nd down and 9 from the 51 Eskimo territory, their possession. Maloney still got it. He looks, throws down the center, completed to Bendiak. He is down on the 31-yard line. Chuck Hunsinger from his defensive position for the Alouettes got Steve Bendiak, who I believe played mostly defensively this year for the Eskimos, but took a nice direct pass down in the secondary and is down for an Eskimo first down on the 32. Referee Hap Schuldice is giving the 3-minute signal to both teams on the field. And now to the stands and all officials concerned. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tie ball game in the 54 Grey Cup. Edmonton 6, the Alouettes 6. With Edmonton on the move, 1st and 10 at the Alouettes 32. Nick Quinney was the man who went in motion. Ball carrier is Parker, and he drives beautifully down to the 24, where he's met by Virgil Wagner and Juan Sheridan. I would hazard a guess that Sheridan has been on 75% of the Alouette tackles so far. The gain on the play is 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 from the Alouettes 24. Long the ball carrier, should be good for a first down, and man, what a pilot. Sheridan, Jimmy Miller, principal man to hit him. There's big number 60, Tex Coulter, and Sheridan, and Ellsby was 68, you saw at the corner of your screen.
Long the ball carrier goes down to the 21.
First down for the Eskimos. Alouettes 21-yard line. Tie ball game at 6 points apiece. About 2 minutes to go in the first period. Normie Kwong to the 10-yard line, drives down to about the 6. Larry Grigg hit him down there. That is another first down and goal to go. Bruce Coulter, number 65, helped on that tackle too, deep in the secondary. And you see the Alouettes lining up on the 5-yard line. The ball is on the 6. That is the 3rd time in the first quarter the Eskimos have had the ball very deep in Alouette territory. They scored once, lost it the other time on a fumble. Maloney all the way through. He scores! No, sir, wait a minute, hold it. 2 officials threw their hands up. 2 others are now giving the no-score signal. The ball is about a yard, maybe, short of the goal line. Definitely 1, if not 2, officials threw their hands up in the air, and 2 others right near the goal line said no soap on it. Maloney, a beautiful piece of quarterbacking, caught the Alouettes by surprise on a quarterback sneak from that far out, and here is a nice discussion going on right around the goal line. The Alouettes, you may be sure, will pack that goal line. They have 7 men, and they'll probably move up to about 9 on the goal line. Maloney tries to see. He is over this time. He was stopped, hit hard, finally slithered off and across the last goal mark. Normie Kwong was responsible for helping, I believe, with a little nudge from the side. But Bernie Maloney, on 2 quarterback sneaks in succession, has moved down. Frankie Morris, former member of the Toronto Argonauts, was mainly responsible for some good blocking, which enabled Filoni to go over. The roughing penalty by the Alouettes, Juan Sheridan, certainly helped that march. High pass from center. Filoni's going to run. He goes out of bounds to the 2-yard line. Nothing doing. The pass from center from Don Barry was very high. Filoni had no alternative. There's the ex-All-American from the University of Maryland who scored that TD and then tried to run for the conversion. So your scoreboard now shows, with still about a minute and a quarter to go in this first quarter, and man, what a quarter. The Eskimos 11, the Alouettes 6. Just a moment ago in front of the Montreal bench, Coach Douglas P. Head Walker had Big Jim Staton up on his feet and was talking to him near the sidelines.
Tell me, Steve, is Staton injured?
Staton had a bad knee from last year and injured his ankle not too long ago and has not played to any extent in the last 3 or 4 Alouette games. He probably will come in very shortly. Dean kicks off for the Eskimos. The wind is taking it. May take it out of bounds. Grigg on about the 15-yard line, running back. Hit once and ganged up on the 15-yard line. Tully is the man who hit him first and responsible for making the stop on him, with Hodgson number 50 and Mendrick number 88. The 1-minute flag is now up at the sidelines. So we have less than 60 seconds to play. That's the boy calling defensive signals, and there's your flag. Jack Wells is going to come in and handle play-by-play commentaries for the second and third quarters of this game. Hunsinger is the ball carrier, spins his way up almost to the 20-yard line before he's stopped principally by Ted Tully. Jimmy Wetherall, number 63, was also on the stop. The ball is on the 20-yard line. The gain is almost 5 yards, so it is second and about 5 to go. Less than half a minute to play in the first quarter. Sam will heave one. Complete to a friend who falls down on the 41-yard line. Jackie Parker just made sure. It is an Alouette first down on the 42-yard line. First and 10 with less than half a minute to go in this first quarter. This is the answer to 27,000-odd football fans' prayers today. They'd see a great ball game. They sure are. Sam is nailed back there. Prather is the boy who got him. Roland Prather and number 66, who is Roger Nelson. They nailed him. You don't trap Sam Etcheverry too often in the backfield, but those two big boys sure did. Prather's 235, Nelson is 225. It is back to the 28-yard line. Second down, about 24 yards to go. Sam is looking for Hunsinger, throwing deep to him. Chuck had his hands on it, defended by Bright and Parker. And the gun has sounded to wrap things up for a hectic first quarter, believe me. And the score at the end of the first quarter is the Edmonton Eskimos 11, Montreal Alouettes 6. The Grey Cup game coming to you from Varsity Stadium in Toronto.
Northern Electric serves you best with Sylvania TV.
Sylvania television with halo light
is the best television in sight.
for greater viewing comfort and real delight.
It's Sylvania TV
with halo light.
Halo light.
Second quarter of this Grey Cup football game from Varsity Stadium in Toronto, with the Edmonton Eskimos in front of the Montreal Alouettes by 11 points to 6, is about to get underway here. So let's hear now from the voice of the West, Mr. Jack Wells.
Thank you very much, Steve. And a good afternoon, football fans. 11-6 in the big one in favor of the Edmonton Eskimos. And we're going into the second quarter. And it'll be Alouettes ball. Third down. And let's see, it's a good 22 yards to go. After Echeverry was speared on a pass play, and the second play was incomplete. And so the Alouettes in the dark uniforms on your television screen on the left. The safety man for the deep men for the Eskimos will be Davy West and Kruger. There's Davy West, number 97, pardon me, and Kruger is the other deep man. Timing is called. So it is third down and approximately 24 to go. Big Ray Poole, or rather Tex Calder, moves back to do the punting. There's the snap. Gets it away. Man, he puts the boot to it. Here's Davy West taking it on his own 35. Spins off to his right. He's on the 40. And he is brought down. Running a touch on about the 45. Trawick and Patterson. Harold Patterson. Trawick, pardon me. Number 35 is not out there. Patterson is hurt. Here's an injured player for the Alouettes. And it'll be first and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 44-yard line. Referee Hapsholdis is waving the ball on. And as we said a few moments ago, there's an injured Alouette on the play. And we can't identify him for you as yet, as there is a group of players around him. As the Montreal Alouettes, 64 Juan Sheridan, played a tremendous game in that line for the Alouettes, not only in this one, but they tell me he's had a tremendous season, doing a lot of hard tackling for the Eastern champions. And the score is 11-6, the early stages of the second quarter. So two ball players now have been injured. Eagle Keys of the Edmonton Eskimos was hurt in the first quarter, although we noticed that he was parading up and down in front of the bench earlier. Picking out this player for you. The injured player is Big Doug McNichol, that fine defensive end of the Montreal Alouettes, and he is being assisted to the sideline. So it'll be first and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 44 after Davy West had returned Tex Calder's punt approximately 10 yards after fumbling it. Eskimos back in the huddle. The Alouettes have a 5-man line out there, likely shift into a 6-man line. Timing is called. Timeout while Doug McNichol was assisted from the field. It's Barry over the ball for the Eskimos. They go into the T formation. Maloney is the quarterback. And the handoff is given to Rolly Miles. A quick opening play over center. And Miles carries up to about his own 53. Stopped by Larry Gregg, number 87. And it'll be close to a first down. Larry Gregg, check his number there. He is listed as 87 on our program. He's actually 89 out on the ball field. So it is second down, and we're going to have a measurement here. The yardsticks will be taken out. Hapsholdis, the referee from Ottawa, as there was a measurement called for by the captain of the Eskimos, Frankie Morris, number 52. Eskimos in the white-colored jerseys on the right of your television screen. Now there goes the yardsticks. It's about a yard short. It'll be second down and 1 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 53. Barry breaks out of the huddle for the Eskimos. Flying wing is Glenn McWhitty. Right half is Rolly Miles, fullback Normie Kwong, left half Jackie Parker, and the quarterback is Bertie Filoni. Second down, 1 yard to go. And there's Normie Kwong over left tackle. I think he picks up enough yardage for a first down. He gets some nice blocking there. Opening the hole was Barry, center. And DeWitt Calder, better known as Tex Calder, number 60 for the Alouettes, left tackle. And Ray Bull, number 79, made the tackle. So it is first and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos, dead center on the 55-yard stripe. And the score is 11-6 in favor of the Edmonton Eskimos over the Montreal Alouettes, playing in the second quarter. And the handoff is given to Normie Kwong, off tackle to his left, and there's no hole there. As it was stopped by of 3 yards on the play, so it'll be second down and 7 yards to go. The ball now in Montreal territory on about the 53. That's Barry over the ball.
Technical difficulties have interrupted picture transmission of the Grey Cup game this morning. Audio is still audible, so we will continue with sound and hope to have picture restored in just a moment.
On that option play, but he elected to throw instead. So it'll be third down and 7 yards to go. Big Tom Hugo, he was the all-star center, I believe, in the Big Four this year, wasn't he, Stan? Or Steve, rather? 2 years in a row. And he backs up the center of the line. He was floating out there with Poloni on that play. Deep man for the Alouettes then. Number 93 is Bill Bewley, and on the far side, number 82 is Joey Powell. They're the deep men. Number 82, Joey Powell, and number 93, Bill Bewley. There's timeout is called. We're having a conference. The officials, Hap Schulnice of Ottawa, Cliff Roseborough of Winnipeg, and Seymour Wilson of Hamilton, and Paul Dojak of Regina. And time in is called. It'll be third down and 7 to go for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Montreal Alouettes 53-yard line. That's Eagle Keys at center, and he is limping. You can possibly notice it on your television screen. Poloni will kick from his own 45-yard line. There's the snap. Gets the boot away, almost blocked. It's Bewley taking it on the 10. He's trapped up to the 15, and he's brought down about the 16-yard line by Bill Briggs and Jimmy Quadamateo. So it's first and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on their own 15-yard line. Tom Hugo almost blocked that kick. He was through. And Poloni, who was playing 15 yards behind the center, needed that extra 5 yards. Get that kick away. Bewley making the catch on the 10, running it up to the 15. Montreal Alouettes in the huddle with Sam the Rifle Etcheberry as the quarterback. And Ted Tully, who is calling the defense for the Edmonton Eskimos. And they shift into a 5-man line, 5-4. The flanker is Joey Powell, Etcheberry at quarterback. Here's the pitch out to Webster. Webster down the left side, and he's brought down on about the 18-yard line by Roland Prather, number 74. Webster, Alec Webster, the leading scorer in the Big Four this year, took the pitch out from Sam Etcheberry, carried to the 20. It's a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5. 15 yards in from the east sidelines, and the score is 11-6 in favor of the Edmonton Eskimos. The Montreal Alouettes use the orthodox tee. Here is Etcheberry going back to throw, and the pass is incomplete. It was knocked down by Bill Briggs. He got a piece of it. It was intended for big John Red O'Quinn, the boy who had 90 yards for a touchdown in that first quarter. Say we've had 2 spectacular touchdowns scored in this ball game. Quinn on a short jump pass that carried 90 yards. And Rolly Miles scoring first for the Edmonton Eskimos, if you caught us a little late, as he reversed his field and threw a pass into the end zone. So it is that Big Tex Calder back in kick formation. There's the snap back to the 6. Calder gets the boot to it. He has a very peculiar stance, and that kick is taken by Davey West on the 50, and he is trapped on about the 54-yard line. Trapped on the 54. Tom Hugo and Ray Poole for the tacklers, first and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on the 55-yard line. 15 yards in from the east sidelines. Barry is the center, so the strategy then for the Edmonton Eskimos on using Eagle Keys was just to snap that ball back on that on that kick formation. Score is 11-6 in favor of the Eskimos. Eskimos over the ball. And here's Poloni pitching out to Rolly Miles. Miles on the option play, pass or run. He throws the pass, and it is good to Parker. He's on the 45, he's on the 40, he's up to the 35, and he's running a touch on the Montreal Alouettes 30-yard line. Fletcher finally got to Jackie Parker, ran him into touch. And for the Eastern fans viewing this ball game this afternoon. That is the type of play that the Western sports writers and casters have been talking about with Edmonton, that dangerous play of the option play. Dave Price and Steve Douglas are just pointing out to me, too, that it's the third time they've used that play successfully. So it's 1st and 10 for the Eskimos on the Montreal Alouette 30-yard line. Loney using that split T now. Here's the pitch to Parker. There's the throw, and it is incomplete. Intended for Lindley on the 1. Takes Bruce Calder. Number 65 was the pass defender. He tipped it away from Lindley, who scored one of the 2 touchdowns the Eskimos have picked up. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 to go. Going in for the Eskimos, number 51 is Tully, and coming out, number 52, Frankie Morris. I think this is Frankie Morris's 5th Grey Cup final. The 2nd with the Edmonton Eskimos, and I think it was in 3 with the Toronto Argonauts. So it's Barry over the ball. The flanker is a shade wide to the right. You can't quite see him on your screen. That's McWhinney. And here's the keeper play with Poloni bootlegging that ball. There's the pitch, and Lindley can't hang on to it. He was being covered by Charlie Hunsinger. So it'll be 3rd. 3rd down and 10 to go for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Montreal Alouettes 30. Score is 11-6 for the Eskimos playing in the 2nd quarter. Now Eagle Keys limps out onto the field. And if you were the quarterback here and you had a placement kicker like Bob Dean, would you try for a field goal? Coming off is Rolly Miles. Also Barry. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 to go for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Alouettes 30. They have the Eskimos have the advantage of the wind. I don't know just what the velocity is. So it is going to be an attempted placement by Bob Dean, number 61. He'll kick from about the 37-yard line. Safety man is deep. There's the kick. There goes the ball. And it's in there for 3 points. Bob Dean kicking one from the 37-yard line to make the score. 14-6. Man, that was quite a boot, Steve.
Jack, it was particularly, and I'm enjoying it for one reason, that Bob Dean also played at the University of Maryland. And when the Edmonton team landed here the other night, I said, Bob, how does it happen that you've run up 42 consecutive conversions, plus a lot more field goals than you used to kick at Maryland? And he said, don't forget that the goalposts here are on the goal line and not 10 yards behind, and I love it.
Well, in the Pro Bowl in the States, they're right on the goal line, I believe, Steve, are they not? Okay, it's 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on their own 35. Here's Etcheberry staying in the pocket. The pass is down the middle, and it's intercepted by Bill Briggs. Briggs is trapped and brought down on the 41. Herb Trowick brought Briggs down, and that's the first interception of the ball game. So it is 1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Montreal Alouettes 42-yard line. And Bill Briggs, who has been something of a pass interceptionist in the Western Conference the past 2 or 3 years, got one in the key spot just now. 14-6 for the Eskimos over the Montreal Alouettes. 1st and 10 for the Eskimos. There's Barry over the ball. Montreal using a 6-man line. Here's Poloni using that split T now. Pitch back to Parker. Parker passes, and it's incomplete. Intended for Rolly Miles, and Virgil Wagner came up to knock it down. So it is 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos. The 74 there, walking towards your screen of the Alouettes. That's Doug McNichol, who is back in the ball game. He was shaken up earlier. McNichol, they tell me, has had a tremendous season on that right defensive end for the Alouettes this year. He's a Canadian boy. Man, he's big. Goes in around 230, I believe. When you're hit by a fellow that size, you're hit. 2nd down, 10 to go. Eskimos ball. Flanker is to the right. And the backfield goes off in motion to the left. Here's the opening play over center to Rolly Miles. Miles up to the 30, and he is trapped on the 30-yard line. Has a handkerchief here or a flag on the play. Jim Michener finally nailed Miles up on the 30. And it's an offside against the Edmonton Eskimos. The play is nullified. So it'll be brought back to the point of scrimmage, which is on the Montreal Alouette 42. There's Sam Echeverry. He can either ask for a measurement or the opposing captain, Ted Tully, he can as well. It's about a yard short for first down. It'll be second down and 1 for the Montreal Alouettes. Fullback is Wagner. And the pitch out is to Webster, and he's up to the 25, up to the 27-yard line. Taken out by Wilsey. And it'll be first and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on their own 27. Score is 14-6 for the Edmonton Eskimos. 6 minutes gone in the second quarter. The right ball, hands off to Virgil Wagner, off tackle to his right, and he's brought down by Lindley. After a gain of close to 5, it's up to about the 32-33. It's better than a 5-yard gain. Number 81 is Earl Lindley, who scored one of the 2 touchdowns the Eskimos have picked up. That's a 6-yard gain. It'll be second down and 4 to go on their own 33. Now Echeverry stays in the pocket. He's going to pass down the middle, and it's a great one-handed catch by Webster. And he really hauled that one in, up to the 50. Briggs. Bill Briggs nailed him on the 50-yard line. It's first and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes. And they're trailing by a score of 14-6. But they made a downfield march to their own 50 from their own 2-yard line, where Bill Bewley received Poloni's kick. Blanket Joy Palace to the left. Here is Echeverry in the pocket. Now he peels out, and he's up to the 55. He's brought down on the Edmonton Eskimo 52-yard line by King, Mike King, and Roland Prather. They tell me this Echeverry is not afraid to take off when he gets out of that pocket, and there is. Echeverry was shaking pretty hard there. He was a little slow getting up. It's a gain of 8 yards. It'll be second and 2. Ball is on the Edmonton Eskimo 52-yard line. Montreal using that orthodox tee, and the handoff is given to Hunsinger, the right half, and he carries up to the 46-yard line for a first down. Stopped by Briggs and Roger Nelson. It's first and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes. They're on the move. They're on the march. Playing in the second quarter. First and 10 for the Alouettes. Joey Powell flanks to the right. Hunsinger is wide to the right. Here's Echeverry in the slot. There's the throw. That's good to O'Quinn. O'Quinn is brought down on the 30 as he makes the catch simultaneously with the tackle by Rolly Miles. So it's first and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes as Echeverry threaded the needle to Red O'Quinn. Man, that O'Quinn can catch. 14-6 in favor of the Edmonton Eskimos playing in the second quarter. First and 10 for Montreal on their own 30. Somebody's hurt. Timeout is called. It's Mike King who's taking a breather, and the time is called. Mike King coming to the sidelines. And goes Bill Zock in number 62. Zock is possibly one of the truly great veterans of Canadian football. This is his 19th season in Major League Football. And it is Mike King who is coming to the sidelines. So Zock goes in on that right tertiary. Timing is called. First and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on the Edmonton Eskimo 30. Flanking wide to the right is Hunsinger. And here's the pitch out to Webster. Webster gets a nice blocking, and Poole is doing the blocking, and he's brought down on the 25. Gets up and starts to go again. Ray Poole blocking from that left end spot. Doing a nice key block for the ball carrier, and Lindley finally brought him down. It's a gain of 5 yards. It'll be second down. Second down and 5 yards to go. A little better than 5 again. Let's make it a 6-yard gain with 4 to go. Montreal Alouette fans are suiting it up here. Here's the pitch out to Hunsinger. Hunsinger waiting wide to his right. He's on the 30. That's Miles after him. He's on the 25. He's brought down on the 20 by Wilsey. Very close to that first down marker. Looked like Hunsinger was trapped there on a couple of occasions. And Hunsinger was hurt on that last play. So timeout is called and gives us a chance to review the score with the Edmonton Eskimos leading the Montreal Alouettes by a score of 14-6. How much time we got left in this quarter, Steve?
About 6.5 minutes unofficially to the end of the first half. And the Alouettes very definitely, Jack could ill afford to lose the services of the former University of Florida and Chicago Bears star, Chuck Hunsinger. He went roaring down the sidelines there and came awfully close, as you called it, to a first down. And he was racked up apparently on the tackle. Well, right now, I would say that 27,000, and I think the official count is 321 over the 27,000 mark. Fans at Varsity Stadium, under almost ideal conditions for football, are having themselves a great time. Chuck is up on his feet and being helped to the Alouette bench. And I imagine he will be back in action before too long goes by. Certainly all Alouette supporters, Jack, would hope that.
Who will be playing in that right half spot, Ben, if Hunsinger's injured, Steve?
Probably Bill Bewley, and I think I see number 93 in the Alouette backfield right now, and that is Bewley.
Now they're bringing out the yardsticks again for this measurement. It's so close, they've got the whole stick down there. And that's referee Hap Scholdice moving towards the Montreal line. Ball is placed on the 20. And it is third down and less than a yard to go. Bewley is playing in that right half spot. He's number 93. It's on the keeper play with Echeverry carrying. He may have picked up that necessary first down. And they're waving the yardsticks on. It's 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on the Edmonton Eskimos 19-yard line. Echeverry on the keeper play. Got some nice blocking there by Ray Cecile, number 51. Little Flower, as he is referred to, in Montreal Alouette ball club. New ball is being put into play. So Ted Tully calls the defensive setup for the Eskimos. And they're using something like a 6-man line, 7-man line with Wright putting out deep. That's Bewley flanking wide to the left in the half spot. Here's the pitch out to Wagner, Virgil Wagner, and he hits over center up to the 14-yard line where he's stopped by King. And the Alouettes are in a good spot to do any placement kicking that is required if a drive should bog down. But they haven't lost the possession of the ball since Bewley made the catch on his own 2. And they've marched all the way down the field, down to the Edmonton Eskimos 14-yard line. Joey Powell flanks out to the left, and here's Echeverry staying in the pocket. The pass is down the middle, and it's a great catch by Red O'Quinn over the goal line. Catch is on the 1. Did you see that catch? Here's O'Quinn, number 73. What a catcher this boy is. He hauls him in like an outfielder. So the score is Edmonton 14, Montreal 11. And a conversion here by Ray Poole would peel off that score. Going back in for the Alouettes is John O'Quinn. And Ray Poole is almost automatic on these converts. It's good. And there's a 2-point difference as the Montreal Alouettes score. Here's Red O'Quinn on the screen, his second touchdown of the ball game. You may recall in the earlier part of this game, he went 90 yards on a jump pass. That gave Montreal their first touchdown, and he went up in the air and pulled that last one down like an outfielder.
Well, Jack, the drive in this case, in which the Alouettes sustained it all the way down the field, was good for 100 yards with Mr. O'Quinn scoring the TD, so he hasn't done too badly this afternoon, eh?
That's a nice piece of real estate, no matter how you look at it. So the score is 14-12 in favor of the Montreal Alouettes playing in the second quarter with 6 minutes remaining in this period. And the ball is being placed on the 45. Ray Poole will do the kicking. And the safety man, or the deep man for the Alouettes, or rather for the Edmonton Eskimos, will be Harry Lipman, Rollie Miles, and Jackie Parker. Parker closest in the corner there, number 91. That's Rollie Miles. 98. Timeout is called. Here comes Ray Poole up. It's a short kick. And it's taken by Normie Kwong. Kwong is on his own 40, and he's brought down on about the 44. Normie Kwong taken out by Ray Poole. So it's 1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 45-yard line. Looks like a deliberate short kick there, Steve.
Jack, they've done that a great many times during the Big Four season, and you may expect to see it quite a few more times this afternoon, I do believe.
1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos. Barry over the ball. Maloney at quarterback. Flanker is McWhinney. And the handoff is given to Normie Kwong. He dives over center, a dive play up to the 52-yard line. He pulled down by Johnny Blacher. It's a gain of 7 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 3. 2nd down and 3 yards to go for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 52. There's number 55 breaking out of the huddle. That's Barry, replacing the injured Eagle Keys. Maloney barking out those signals, and the handoff is given to Jackie Parker over right tackle, number 91. And he's stopped by Sheridan and Tex Calder. And it's a 1st down for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Montreal Alouettes 53-yard line. So the Eskimos are trying to start a drive of their own. Number 74 on your screen there for the Alouettes. That's Doug McNichol, the right defensive end. Now it's Barry over the ball. Eskimos using that split T. And it's Normie Kwong, number 95. There's no hold there. The left side of that Edmonton line was really holding. And Kwong going back. And it'll be 2nd down. It's a gain of about 1 yard. Big Tex Calder and Jimmy Miller, number 72, is Miller. And 60 is Tex Calder. So it is 2nd down and 9 yards to go. 5 minutes to play in this quarter. There's the official 5-minute whistle, which is a new ruling in Canadian football this year. 5-minute warning whistle at the end of the 2nd and 4th quarters. Eskimos break the huddle. Maloney hands off to Rollie Miles, and it didn't work. That Coulter and the State really moving in on it. And Miller, so it is a gain of 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down. And the safety man for the Alouettes, Bewley, and Joey Powell. There's Bewley, number 93. And Joey Powell, number 82. Maloney will kick from his own 45-yard line. He's a good 15 yards behind the center. There's the snap. Gets the ball away, and he's really put the boot to this one. And Bewley takes it on his own goal line. He's on the 5, gets up to the 10, up to the 15, and he's brought down on the 18-yard line by Barry. That kick of Maloney's went 63 yards in the air. So it is 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on about their own 19, not quite to the 20. And the score is 14-12, playing in the 2nd quarter. 14-12 in favor of the Edmonton Eskimos. 1st and 10 for Montreal. This is the big one of the season. 4 minutes to play. Flankers wide to the left. There's the pitch out to Virgil Wagner, and he's hit hard as he comes through by Johnny Bright. And as Bright cut in from that, he's backing up the corner of the right corner of that line. Bright and Tully. So it is a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. The ball is on about the 23-yard line. Montreal's 23. Alouettes use that open huddle. Webster and Powell flank wide to the left. Wagner in motion, and here's Etcheverry going to pass. He can't find a receiver. He takes off. He's on the 25, and he's brought down on about the 28. Sam the rifle Etcheverry. Down by Lindley, Earl Lindley, and it's close to a 1st down. Say this Etcheverry is a running quarterback. In other words, if he can't spot a receiver in the clear, he'll run with the ball. Timeout is called. And it'll be about third down and about 1. The ball is on about the Montreal 29-yard line. He'll go over the ball. They're going to run it. There's the pitch out, and it's over to Webster. Webster picks up the first down. Dive play over the right side of the Edmonton line. Picks up about 4 yards. Stopped by Wilsey. So it's 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes. On their own 33. Both these clubs are gambling today. In other words, on those third down plays with a yard or two to go, they're both going. Both teams are going for it. Double flankers to the left. Hunsinger and Powell. There's the pitch down the middle, and it's taken by Poole. He's on the 45. He's up to about the 48-yard line before he's stopped by Bright and Jackie Parker. So it's 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes. And Echeverry is threading the needle. He's throwing it along the clothesline, as they say. This time he threw to Poole, Ray Poole, instead of John O'Quinn. 1st and 10, Montreal Alouettes on their own 48-yard line. 3 minutes to play in the half. Alec Webster flanks wide to the right for 86. Can't see him on your screen right now. Here is Echeverry staying in the pocket. Here's the lateral over to Hunsinger. He's on the 45. He's on the 50. He's brought down on the 53 by Lindley. On the Montreal Alouette 53. It's a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. That flat pass went from Echeverry to Hunsinger. So it is 2nd down and 7 yards to go. About a 3-yard gain. 15 yards in from the west sidelines. Edmonton are using 5-man line now with Bright well back. There's the flat pass to Poole again, and he's hit as he makes the catch by Johnny Bright, and it's the 1st down on the Edmonton Eskimo 50-yard line. Johnny Bright, who was a great offensive star with the Calgary Stampeders until he was racked up by injuries, had been used almost entirely as a defensive back for the Edmonton Eskimos this year. Number 84, you can see him right at the top of your screen there. He's floating out, stop those wide plays, if you'll notice. Now it's Echeverry staying in the box. He's got to rush it. Gets the flat pass away to Wagner. Wagner is brought down on the 50-yard line. There's going to be a loss of about a yard. Tully took Wagner's feet from under him on a dive block. And it'll be 2nd down and about 11 yards to go. 15 yards in from the east sideline. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and the score is 14-12 for the Edmonton Eskimos. And we have a ball player who was shaken up. And I believe it was Jackie Parker, who was still down on one knee. It is Parker, number 91. He's coming to the sidelines. He'll have to come out for at least one play. Going in for the Eskimos, number 97 is Davy West, going in as a defensive back.
Jack, you're talking about Johnny Bright, a great offensive star at Drake University and also with Calgary, playing a bang-up defensive game today. Let's not overlook a fellow named Earl Lindley, who was high scorer in the United States last year with the Utah Aggies, and today has made about 50% or more of your Edmonton tackles.
He's been a standout on defense, and he also caught one of those touchdown passes, too. There's the open huddle of the Montreal Alouettes. Sam Echeverry calling the signal, the rifle, as he is referred to, number 92. They break out of the huddle. It's 2nd down and 11 to go, using the T, and the shift is to the right. Here's Echeverry going back to throw. There's a long one, and it's incomplete. There's going to be a flag on the play. Interference is called against Ray Wilsey, and the pass will be ruled complete on the 25. On the Edmonton Eskimo 25, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes on the Edmonton Eskimo 25-yard line on a pass interference play against Ray Wilsey. Wilsey was an all-star defensive back in the Western Conference, and he's been out of action for the past few weeks with a broken arm. Flanking to the right is Alec Webster. And Joy Powell is the flanker on the right. Now here's Echeverry in the box. He's brought down by Prather. And there was a fumble. Fumble on the play. Prather hit Echeverry. Caused him the fumble. Echeverry may have recovered his own fumble. And we'll wait and see it. 2nd down. Echeverria recovered. The fumble as Prather barreled in. Number 74 is from that right end. There he is, touching his helmet now. Flanking out to the left is Joey Powell. 14-12. And here's Echeverria in the box again. And there's the pitch, and it is good to Red O'Quinn. He carries up to the 10, up to about the 8-yard line, where he's stopped by Jackie Parker. O'Quinn hooks in from that right end to make a spectacular catch again. So Montreal are threatening, and the minute flag is up for the first half. And now the Alouettes will be fighting the clock as well. So it's first and goal to go for the Montreal Alouettes on about the 8. Webster flanks wide, and here is the pitch out to Hunsinger. He's on the 5. He's getting some good blocking, and he's over for a touchdown. Doesn't that crowd roar? So the Montreal Alouettes go to the front for the first time in the ballgame. And the score, Montreal Alouettes 17, Edmonton Eskimos 14. With time running out in the first half of the ballgame. That wide run going for the big points, and now Ray Poole will go for the convert. Poole, number 79, while Echeverria will hold. Here's the snap. There's the kick, and the point is good. And the score in favor. Here's the Hunsinger, who scored that last touchdown for the Montreal Alouettes on your screen now. And the Montreal Alouettes, in almost the last seconds of play in the first half, score a converted touchdown to go to the front by a score of 18-14. Montreal Alouettes 18, Edmonton Eskimos 14, and the minute flag is up, so there's less than a minute to play. The Eskimos will receive, and the safety man, Glenn Littman, number 95, Rolly Miles, 98, and Davey West, number 97. Ray Poole will do the kicking from his own 45. Remember, on these kickoffs, it's a free ball. Everybody's onside. There it is, another one of those short kicks, and it's taken. Bob Bendiaki's on his own 40, up to the 45, brought down on about the 50 by Virgil Wagner and Ray Poole. So it's first and 10 for the Eskimos on their own 50-yard line, and they still have time for at least one play, as the minute flag is still up down the sidelines here. First and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 50. Barry breaks the huddle. Montreal go into a 6-man line, 6-1, and they're defending with that umbrella pass defense as here's Poloni pulling out of the pocket. There's the pass, and it is incomplete. Intended for flanker Glenn McWhinney, and he was being covered by Charlie Hunsinger. So it'll be second down and 10 to go. Notice that Montreal defense, they throw up an umbrella defense on this particular sequence because with time almost out in the first half, the Eskimos naturally have to gamble. They're trying for those long ground-gaining plays. So the Montreal Alouettes line is a 5-2. That's Barry out of the huddle. Eskimos over the ball. Flanking wide to the right is Glenn McWhinney, number 93. Has the entire backfield in motion. Poloni being rushed on this play, gets some blocking. There's the pass, and it is good up to the 40 of Bendiak, and he charges up to about the 32-yard line. He's stopped by Johnny Blacher. And the flag is still up. And so they still have time for another play. It's first and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on the Montreal Alouette 32. Going in is Bill Zock and Eagle Keys. Eagle Keys is limping into that ball game on a bad left ankle. And second guessing here, we'll say that Bob Dean may try a placement. That's what's going to happen. He'll kick from the 38, 39-yard line. There's the snap. There's the kick. And it's taken on the goal line. It's not good. It's on the 5. Hunsinger on the 5. And he's grounded on about the 6 as the gun sounds to end the first half of the ball game. And the score at the end of the first half of this Grey Cup game from Varsity Stadium in Toronto is Montreal 18, The Edmonton Eskimos 14, 18-14 in favor of the Montreal Alouettes.
Bringing to life other important Northern electric equipment to help you live better. Fire alarm systems made by Northern Electric are at your service day and night. Traffic control systems by Northern Electric. Street lighting, teletype, telephone and telephone equipment. North, south, east, and west. Northern Electric supplies Canada with thousands of electrical items, domestic or industrial, to help you live better. Whatever your electrical needs, remember Northern Electric serves you best.
Man, oh man, what a ball game. The experts certainly must be confounded on this one. The odds 5-1 in the Alouettes, the score 18-14 by that terrific march of the Als late in the second quarter. Here's the way the scoring went, as you recall, on the kickoff. Alouettes kicked off to the Edmonton Eskimos. They got it on their own 4 and then all the way down the line to the final touchdown within the first few minutes of the ball game, and they went out in front 6-0 over the Alouettes. The Alouettes tied it up. Webster for the first on the 23. Grigg got the ball on the kickoff, or a long kick on the 12-yard line. Webster for the first to the 23. Then pitch out was fumbled and recovered by Edmonton on the Alouette 12, and on the first play, a Poloni lateral was fumbled, and the Als recovered. Etch threw a short jump pass to O'Quinn, and the Redhead went 90 yards for the touchdown. Poole's convert good, and that tied the score up at 6-6. The Eskimos went out front again, 11-6. Keyes was hurt on their first play in that particular sequence. Then a pass to Bendiak for a first down on the 32. Parker went to the 24. Kwong for the first down on the 21. Kwong for another first down to the 6. And then Poloni went to 1/2 yard from the goal line on a quarterback sneak. The second time he made no mistakes. He went over, but the convert was no good. The score, Eskimos 11, Alouettes 6, and that's the way the scoring ended at the end of the first quarter. The Eskimos then went out front 14-6 when Dean's 37-yard field goal was good, and it was from a bad angle, which he was on the 15 yards from the touchline and from the 37-yard line. A rather difficult angle, but he made it good, and that put the Eskimos out front again. Down on the field right at the moment, we'll give you the balance of this scoring shortly, but there are the drum majorettes of the Montreal Alouettes. The band you will hear in the background, they came up especially for this game from Montreal. They had quite a time down there to get the finances together to bring the band and the drum majorettes up here, but they did it, and they're a very, very fine organization. In that third quarter, the Eskimos were offside on the second down and finally had to kick. It was short to the 10. Bewley took it on the 2, as a matter of fact, ran it out to the 10. Then Webster to the 25, a forward to Webster to the 50 for a first down. Echeverry for 8 on an option play. The Hunsinger for a first down to the 46. Then another long pass to O'Quinn for a touchdown on the first down, in the 30. Hunsinger ran back for 9. Etch a sneak for a first down, and then a pass to O'Quinn, which Poole converted, Eskimos 14, the Alouettes 12. Poole's kickoff was short to Kwong. First down on the 44. Poloni's 63-yard kick brought back to the 20 by Bewley. First down to the 35. A pass to Poole for another first down at the 48. Another pass to Poole. Another first down on the Montreal 50. Rather, the Eskimo 50, I'm sorry. A long pass to O'Quinn was declared good on the 25 when interference play was called against Edmonton. Quinn made a great catch on a button hook for a first down on the 8, and then Hunsinger over on a long end run to put the Owls ahead for the first time. The Owls 18, the Eskimos 14. And that was just a very fine hand and a very well-deserved hand you just heard for the band and the drum majorettes of the Montreal Alouettes. Well, this Grey Cup game is coming to you from Varsity Stadium in Toronto.
Meet Miss Geraldine Mann, Home Service Director of Gurney Products Limited.
Hello. Isn't this a delicious-looking cake? You'll always have perfect baking with this wonderful new Gurney Petite electric range. It has all the automatic cooking features you've ever wanted. This is the big reason for perfect baking every time, the banquet-size Gurney even heat oven. Here's the switch with the brains. Turn this control to the temperature you wish. The oven heats automatically and holds that temperature. Next, set the Leisure Maker automatic timer. It turns the oven on and shuts it off automatically. These 4 microtube high-speed surface elements give greater heat faster. Each element has 7 control heats, providing the right heat for every type of cooking. See this compact, automatic Gurney Petite electric range now at your Northern Electric dealer.
Northern Electric.
We now pause briefly for station identification. This is the television network of the CBC. Northern Electric Company Limited and National Carbon Company are proud to bring to television viewers in Western Canada for the first time a telecast of Canada's most important sporting event, the Grey Cup Final. They hope, too, you have enjoyed the radio broadcast throughout the regular season. CBUT, Channel 2, Vancouver. The second half of this Grey Cup game will be brought to you by National Carbon Company.
You're set, you're safe, you're sure with Redstone brand. You're set, you're safe, you're sure with Redstone antifreeze. Be set, be safe, be sure that your car will never freeze. When winter comes along, you can be carefree with this song. You bet you're set, you're safe, you're sure with Redstone antifreeze. P-R-E-S-T-O-N-E, Redstone. Redstone antifreeze.
Newspapermen, radio men in from all across Canada covering this game today. Many. Mayor Alan McKay of Calgary, early in the year, thought it would be his Calgary Stampeders who would be competing against the East. Now the drum majorettes are going to move over point south, and the band will play Miami Beach Rumba. now down to the field once more, the Alouette Band, the drum majorettes. The drum majorettes pointing to the south and playing the Miami Beach Rumba. I want to make one correction in the statistics that were brought in. Whoever added them up quite quickly, and we did not verify it and check it. It was 16 first downs for Montreal, and not 10 as we gave you. 16 first downs for Montreal, 17 first downs for the Edmonton Eskimos. By the north goalposts, the winning float of the Grey Cup Parade has been brought into the park and is down there. Now the band moving around, the points of the compass is made up by the drum majorettes, moving over to the east, and will point east. Two guesses what they're going to play. Alouette. Perhaps the Montreal fans and Alouette fans who are up here would be joining in and singing, but I think they're still a little bit too stunned by that 4-point lead their club has managed to eke out over the Eskimos in this first half. Lindley, Prather, Parker, among some of the Edmonton Eskimos who were pretty outstanding in that first half for the
CBUT, Channel 2, Vancouver.
The band now marching down to the north end and back will play 12th Street Rag according to their program, and will show you the versatility of this band. Led by Drum Major Alan Thompson. And here they go. They'll probably get Allen in this, too. They usually do. There he goes. lot of the bandsmen out there now with the drum majorettes, as you see, their instruments down on the ground, having themselves a ball. And this Grey Cup game is coming to you from Varsity Stadium in Toronto. And now the band and the majorettes will march off the field to the bandstand and playing My Truly, Truly Fair. Great organization. The Alouette team just come out of their dressing room. The officials are back on the field. They'll just have to wait for a few minutes till this great organization, the Alouette band and drum majors, get back over to their bandstand. Come the Edmonton Eskimos out of their dressing room. Both teams have been in their huddles down below us here. We're located, as you know, on the press box on the west side of Varsity Stadium. The wind is picked up in velocity somewhat. It's coming sort of from the southwest. It's rather a cool, damp wind. But I haven't seen anybody leaving the park yet, believe me. This second half should be one of the greatest. So many of the experts have always thought, and have said so this year, that it was anticlimactic, the Grey Cup final, but certainly not this year. And now, if he can get his eyes off those drum majorettes and off that Alouette band, here's Jack Wells to bring you the play-by-play of the third quarter of today's Grey Cup game between the Edmonton Eskimos and the Montreal Alouettes from Varsity Stadium in Toronto. Jack?
Thank you very much, Uncle Dave. Well, I'd just like to add my word of praise to this marching band of the Montreal Alouettes and the drum majorettes. I've been coming down to this Grey Cup final ever since 1941, and believe me, this is the most, as the Hepcats say, as far as halftime entertainment is concerned. That's a real organization, that marching band. Well, the Montreal Alouettes will kick off to the Edmonton Eskimos, as Kruger, Weston Miles are the deep men, and Big Ray Poole will do the bunting for the Montreal team. And the score is 18-14 in favor of the Montreal Alouettes. Now we've had a switch here, and here's something that was forgotten. We haven't got a football. So I think one of those things is necessary to get this ball game underway. The deep men, Lipman, Kruger, and West for the Edmonton Eskimos. Ray Poole now placing the ball on the Montreal Alouettes 45-yard line. A 4-point spread as we go into the second and crucial half. This great ball game here. Man, we've had a lot of excitement. There's Poole still fixing that ball, getting ready to go. He's a big fella. Not 240. Time in is called. Here's the kickoff. It's a long end-over-end kick. Taken by Lipman on his own 5. Lines up behind his blocking. He's on the 10, 15, the 20, up to the 25, and he's brought down on about the 28-yard line by Mitchner and Tom Moran, number 77. So it's 1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 28-yard line. 4-point difference here. Time in is called. Let's have a look at that Montreal defense. They're going into a 5-man line, 5-3. It's Barry over the ball for the Eskimos. Maloney at quarterback. And the handoff is given to Normie Kwong, off tackle to his right. And he carries for about 5 yards before he's stopped by Johnny Blacher, number 81. And it'll be 2nd down. Blacher and Juan Sheridan, number 64, also in on the tackle. It's a gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the Eskimos on their own 30, about their own 34. McWhinney is the flying wing to the left. There's Filoni on the keeper play now. Stays in there. There's the throw down the middle, and it's intercepted by Hugo. And he's on the 42-yard line, 47-yard line. Man, it was a nice tackle by Normie Kwong. He took off on Hugo. As Hugo intercepts the pass, that's the 2nd interception of the day.
Hugo, Jack, is a great pass interceptor for the Alouettes. He nabbed 6 during the Big 4 season, and I believe 1 in the playoffs, so that'd be a total of 8 for him this season of 1954.
And he got one at a very tight spot in this ball game, and he gives Montreal the ball on the Edmonton Eskimos 47-yard line. Running in now for the Eskimos, Hayton got in on defense. And here's the pitch out. There's a bubble in the backfield, and it's recovered by the Montreal Alouettes. That's Webster with the ball, and he's running a touch by Lindley, Gerald Lindley. There was a traffic jam in that Montreal backfield, but Webster recovered. He's the left half. And made about 5 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. The ball is on the Edmonton Eskimos 39-yard line. Ted Tully calling the defense for the Eskimos. 2 wide men here in the swing. There's the pitch, and it's intercepted by Edmonton. Intercepted by Johnny Bright. Intended for Ray Poole, and it's Eskimo ball. Jim Staton brought Bright down with the tackle. Number 63 there is Jim Weatherall, you see on the screen. And it's 1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos on their own 38-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Edmonton Eskimos against the Montreal Alouettes. Alouettes going into a 5-man line, 5-3-3. 5-4, now they switch to a 6-man line. And Filoni fakes the handoff, and it's given to Glenn Lipman, and he bobbled it, brought down by Doug McNichol, crashing end, and there's a loss on the play. So the early portion of this 3rd quarter has marked similarity between the two teams. They've both had traffic jams in the backfield, and they have both had pass interceptions. So it is 2nd down and 12 yards to go for Edmonton on their own 36. Man in motion. Here's the handoff to Glenn Lipman, taken off to his right, gets some nice blocking, cuts in, and he carries up to the 45, up to about the 47. It's Virgil Wagner, number 78. Finally brought him down, and Bruce Calder had a piece of that tackle. So it's close to 1st down for the Edmonton Eskimos. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. The ball is on the Eskimos 47. Now Eagle Keys is going into the ball game. Pick him up on your screen there. You can see that he is limping with a bad ankle. And Coach Frank Ivey is sending in his kicking squad. In other words, Keys will snap the ball back to Filoni on the 3rd down with 2 to go. The safety men will be Bewley and Joey Powell. Powell closest to you. Bewley on the far side. Bewley number 93. Poloni will kick from his own 32. There's the snap. There's the kick. He puts it to it. And it's taken on the 35 by Hunsinger. Hunsinger is hit on the dead run back to the 30 by Lindley. This Lindley is playing himself a real ball game for the Edmonton Eskimos in this one. The score is 18-14 in favor of Montreal. Montreal in possession on their own 32-yard line. So it's 1st and 10, Montreal. 4-point spread, 18-14, and a thriller here at Varsity Stadium, the final football game of the year in Canada. So the Alouettes break the huddle. Hunsinger's the right half, and there's the pitch out to Hunsinger. Lines up behind his blocking, gets some great blocking by Poole, and he picks up 5. He cuts in, he's up for 10. He's on the 40. Up by Wilsey. Ray Wilsey runs him into touch. And about the 41, it'll be near that 10-yard marker. The ball is pitched in from the sideline. Calder getting some real fine blocking in there for Hunsinger. So it is a gain of 8 yards, 9 yards, 2nd down, and 1 to go. That was that wide pitch-out play from Sam the Rifle Etcheverry. And the handoff is to Webster, who tries center and carries for at least 1 yard, where he's stopped by Bill Briggs, number 42. What a pile up along the line. Mike King, number 82. And Montreal needed only that 1 yard for 1st down. They picked up 1 and 1 to go with it. So it's 1st and 10 for the Alouettes on their own 44. Edmonton shift into a 7-man line. And they're missing Eagle Keys, who is the center linebacker, and out with injuries. Here's that throw pass over the line, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Ray Poole. I couldn't quite see it because Poole's back was towards me, and it's incomplete. Knocked down by Tully. Tully had him covered, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10 for the Montreal Alouettes, their own 44-yard line. That's Tully calling the defense for Edmonton. They go into the 6-man line, 6-3. Here's the 2-man spread to the left for Etcheverry. Etcheverry has to hurry, and he's brought down by Prather, who got a piece of him. And then he was smeared from that left end by Weatherall, left tackle. And there's a loss of 5 yards on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 15 to go, and Coach P. Headwalker sends in his kicking squad. Dropping back in safety for the Eskimos is Kruger and Davy West. And Tex Calder will kick from his own 25. There's the snap. It was almost blocked, but he put his foot to it. Mendrick almost got through to it, and here is West taking it on his own 20. On the 25, he's hit on the 25 and carries to about the 28. Ray Sacia, Little Flower, number 51, leveled off on West, brought him down. So it's 1st and 10 for the Eskimos on their own 28. 18-14 is the score in favor of the Montreal Alouettes over the Edmonton Eskimos, playing in the 3rd quarter of the Grey Cup final here at Varsity Stadium. That's Tom Hugo calling the defense for Montreal. You go into the 6-man line, 6-3. Poloni at quarterback, and the reverse is given to Lipman, who's playing right half in place of Jackie Parker, and he goes for 3 yards before he's stopped by Miller, Jim Miller, for 72. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 to go. Ball is now on the Edmonton Eskimos 31-yard line. 4-point difference here between these two great ball clubs. Can't recall a Grey Cup final when we've had so many spectacular touchdowns. McWhinney is flanking out to the right on the flying wing. That's Lippman at left half. Poloni at quarterback. The handoff is to Normie Kwong. Off tackle to his right. He finds a big hole and goes up to the 43-yard line before Tex Calder brings him down. There's a man hurt. It's McNichol, I believe, who was shaken up in that last play. Number 63 there on your screen for the Montreal Alouettes is Jim Staton, right tackle. And again, it's McNichol who is hurt. And the score is 18-14 in favor of the Alouettes over the Edmonton Eskimos. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eskimos on their own 42-yard line after Normie Kwong knifed off of left tackle. Here comes McNichol to the sidelines. Great ball player. So Montreal shift into a 5-man line, 5-4 defense here. Almost that umbrella pass defense. Flankers to the left. That's McWhinney. And here's the handoff to Wally Miles. Up to Kruger, pardon me. Kruger carries that up for first down. Goes for 13 yards. Kruger playing in that right-hand slot in place of Rollie Miles. And it was Bruce Coulter, number 65, who made the tackle. So Frank Ivy has gambled in this third quarter with 2 rookie backs in Lippman and Kruger. The only veteran then is the fullback, Normie Kwong. McWhinney is flanking to the right. And the handoff is given to Normie Kwong, and he carries for 5 yards up to the Montreal 50-yard line. He's stopped by Johnny Blacher, number 81. Also in for a piece of the tackle is 63, Jim Staten. Here's Staten.